Hey everyone, this is John O from Veracity with another video in my video series. This one on analyzing data, specifically building a bar chart in Veracity Learning. I want to point out, just like the last video, that I've started a little series here on doing analytics in the Veracity LRS. So check out the last couple of videos for some more information on just some context on how this all works. And I'll probably continue a few more until we get through the whole analytic platform. For now, let's go right into a demo though. Okay, I am in an LRS. This is the one I had set up for the Learner Portal data demo. It has a bunch of sample data in it, so that's why it's good to use. I'm going to launch into the analytics platform. We talked before about these default dashboards, but now I'm going to go under custom dashboards and I'm going to click add a new one, and we'll just call this demo 1 or something like that. Click OK. And then it's going to prompt us right away for adding a widget. Today, we're going to go ahead and build a chart. In fact, we might build a couple. We'll see how it goes. So this brings up our little editor here. By default, you'll notice it's a bar chart. So let's give this one a title. Let's say this is our top lessons, and we can put a subtitle. These are our top lessons. So we do want a bar chart, and our series is going to be, see, it populates here with actors, but we don't want actors. These are our fake actors. What we actually want are the objects, the activities that people are interacting with. So if you click the X to clear this out, and then click the down arrow, you'll see object, and then click the down arrow again, and ID. So object.id is what we're looking at here. One important note. This does require a little bit of understanding of xAPI, so you have to know, where the representation of your content is. That happens to be the object of the statement. And the thing that you want to query on almost all the time is the ID. Now, the system is smart, so even though you are making a column for every object ID, notice these aren't IDs. These are, human readable text. The system will pull from the canonical definition of the object. Look at some other videos that I have on Canonical and what that means if you haven't seen those yet. But anyway, it will try and do its best to present a user-friendly label on the graphs, even though you're querying by ID, which again, you should query it by ID because that is the thing that actually identifies the object. So here we go. This is almost what we want. This is of all the objects, count them. And you can see that programming for everybody in this time frame has 130 statements about it. But we actually just want to know the top lessons. So what we need to go is add a where clause with this little plus, matching records where. And let's say our object definition type. The object definition type is where you can put information about what kinds of objects there are. And let's say we want lessons. So now these are all of our lessons, and these are the total number of interactions with them. And if I were to click OK, you'll see it pops in right here, and we've got some controls. We can make it a bit bigger. We can kind of move it around if we have other stuff that's going to pop up. So yeah, you can kind of see how it works. You can kind of lay it out. So let's go one step further. Let's say that we want to look at all lessons that are part of a particular course. So let's add another widget over here. Notice we're editing this dashboard. So add a widget over here on the left-hand side. Again, we're going to build a chart. Again, it's going to be a bar chart. Let's give it a title. Lessons in Data Science. And a subtitle. These are the lessons. So again, it's counting actors, and the amount of statements they have. We don't want that. We actually, again, want the object ID in this case because we want to look at lessons again. But this case, we don't want every lesson. We only want the ones that are in the data science course. So let's open this up, and we'll do exactly what we did the last time at first. Object definition type equals want all the lessons. Okay. So now we have all lessons, but not just the lessons that are part of a particular course. So we can click the plus and add another condition. And in this case, let me actually show you where it's at here quickly. I have the statement viewer open and I have a particular item open. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. So you can see that this person terminated this R programming lesson. And if we scroll down into context, you can see we have a context activity parent that is this JHU data science, and we see that it's a course. So essentially this lesson, R programming, is part of the JHU data science course. So what we actually need is this ID. I have it over here. I'm just going to copy it and go back into our analytics. And what we want to do is we want to say where context activities, parent, ID. I know for those of you who are real familiar with xAPI, this is technically an array, but what we'll do is we'll match if there's any parent that has this ID. So even there could be more of them as long as one of them is this ID. I'm going to paste it in. Let me copy it again, sorry. All right, here we go. Paste in this ID. Now what we are seeing is only the lessons that are in the data science course. So let me just add that. All right, great. Let's resize it a little bit so we can see a little bit more. Okay, great. So now let's say this is interesting. I mean, this is really just, the amount of data that we're getting about these lessons. But let's say I actually wanted to not look at the just amount of data points and instead wanted to look at something like a score. So let's go back into the edit on this top one, lessons in the data science course. And here you can see we are setting the column height to the total count. In this case, it's all statements that are lesson and all statements that are in the JHU course. Give me all the object IDs and count the amount of statements. Well, what we're going to do instead is let's do the average score on a lesson. So let's say the average, and notice average of what value. This came up, it pre-populated with the score scaled. You could use the raw score. You could use an extension. So if you're familiar with xAPI and you know where you have other scores stashed, you could use those as long as they are integers or numbers. So now what we have is of all the lessons down here, they have to be lessons that are in the data science course, this kind of secondware, take the average of the scaled score for every object ID we have and put it here. So you can see we're almost 50% with statistical inference, almost 50% in this time range for the data science capstone. And of course we can just click OK down here and this will just update on the screen. And now in the last 90 days, you can see what our values are for the average score on each of the lessons in data science. So I know that's a whirlwind overview of the bar chart. There's a lot of other things that you can do with the bar chart features inside the Veracity LRS, but I think for an overview, we're going to go ahead and keep this video somewhat short and stop there. So if you like this video, subscribe or click that like button. Thanks for watching and have a good one.